All right, new project out here, guys. So we have a new septic system going in here. This is an above ground septic system. It's going to consist of a 1,500 gallon septic tank, 1,000 gallon sump tank, pumping over to an at grade dispersal field. And first step for me is to start excavation on these tanks. Just laid it out with the property owner. The ADU slash garage is going right here, basically just downhill from the excavator. And it's going to be a deep set based on the elevation of the finished floor of the ADU. So we have some digging to do. I think it's a little bit rocky out here. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to digging. In terms of not hitting a bunch of rock, just a couple embedded boulders here and there. Not bad though, not bad at all. Just a few more scoops coming out. So we got the hole all scratched out mostly. All right, time to get Mr. Dumpy in here. Gonna finagle the dump truck around. Unfortunately, we're gonna be squishing those naked ladies right there a little bit, but he should sneak his dually past that stump and go underneath that limb. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Cool. And there's a couple oil pan getters out here. Gotta just keep our eye out for that. Get Grant turned around in here and back him up over to the excavator, and I'm just going to reach into the back of the dump truck, scoop the drain rock out, and lay it into that bottom of that tank hole there. All right, our tank hole is ready. Just got that gravel leveled out down there. That's a 1/2 inch double washed drain rock, and the septic tank side of that hole is just about 2 inches higher than the sump tank side. And now we are ready to move on to the next task. So for this at grade septic system install, There's a little bit of ground prep that needs to be done before you start ripping, and that's mowing as low as you can mow and then raking the organic matter off. So that's just been done. You can kind of see all the leaf debris out here. So this is ready for rips, and we have the perimeter outlined with a little bit of white paint. It's hard to see now after the raking, but we got the ripper shank bucket on that little cat, and we're gonna go ahead and get lined up and start ripping on contour. So that's another key part, is you don't want to rip downhill. You want the contour and the rips to be the same. So let's get to ripping. Look who's here. We got Mark with the tanks. So we're gonna take a brief pause from putting some gravel down and get Mark in here. We're gonna try to sneak him between these couple trees. We're gonna pull him in straight at us. So I think that's the plan for the moment. It's hard to explain to folks sometimes just how big these trucks are. But Mark's an excellent driver. He is not a rookie. And he's doing a fine job of sneaking in here. So yeah, that was perfect. That worked excellent. It's like it was made for us to come right through there. All right, well, let's get this truck backed up to the hole then. Do it. What do you guys think? Think that's gonna do it? All right, let's help him get this thing offloaded. right, tanks are set. And now it's time to trench and connect the septic tank outlet to the sump tank inlet. And I'm also gonna trench this line here for the 2-inch PVC pressure main over to the at-grade. At-grade gravel is done, so let's get started doing some trenching.
always talks about all the women he has made and all he's gonna score for sure. But he's a two-bit cowboy Romeo that never rode a horse, a can of chew in his jeans and cowboy boots, of course. but you never see his girls around. There's one in every town. Says he's the one who caught the biggest fish, but you never see no scale. The one who bagged the fattest hog, but you never see no tail. Without fail, the only tail you get is from his mouth. When all is said and done, he hasn't learned to work a crowd, he ain't fooling anyone. And it's kinda sad he's such a clown. There's one in every town. There's one in every town across the land. You can't tell by the way they look, so try to understand. They seem just like you and me, till their pie hole opens round. And if you're wondering why they never shut it down, there's one in every town. One who'll sit right next to you when you're trying to have a drink. So you take a spin around your stool, hoping you won't hear a thing. You think, but he just sits there spouting off. He likes to hear himself. You turn the jukebox up, but it doesn't really help, 'cause he tries to sing old Hank real loud. There's one in every town. There's one in every town across the land. You can't tell by the way they look, so try to understand. They seem just like you and me, till their pie hole opens round. If you're wondering why they never shut it down, what's coming out is sort of looking brown. Well, take that trip on your stool and look around. There's one in every town. I believe I see one right over there. Well, that yard's been open quite some time. Oh, wait a minute. There could be another one right there. Let me look the other way. My God, there could be another one. There's more than one in every town. All right, morning of inspection. As you saw, I worked kind of late last night, pushing to try to get this site ready for inspection. We have an inspection in about an hour. And what I'm trying to do is get the control panel set up. So I just set the post. That post goes to the bottom of the tank hole. That'll prevent that post from sagging down later on. And poured the float stand. Used some rapid set non-shrink grout in the bucket there. Just a 1-inch piece of conduit, some Orenco float collar, grips. Got the alarm float already on there. Pump floats there. And yeah, basically just need to grab this panel, slap it up there, put some screws in it, and start running the conduit into the splice box. So let's get going.
just felt the back of my pants rip. I think I have a blowout starting. Time for a new pair of blue jeans. Right. A little breezier down there now. Dead front. Yeah. I find when I'm trying to move my fastest that I end up missing a step or doing something a little off, and it can oftentimes take longer. Like when I'm running to the truck to get a part, I'm running and it feels like I'm going faster, but I get over to the truck, grab what I think I need, run back over to the tanks, and then I find out that I forgot the other thing that I was gonna get at the truck. Whereas if I just walked all the way to the truck, got what I needed, I would have been there at the same rate of speed. That's how it goes. All right, we're almost ready for inspection. So wires are stripped for the pump line cable, so I can just wire that up to an extension cord for this inspection. But I still have to drill the orifices in this lateral, and plans call for 3/16 hole, 36 inches on center, starting from plus or minus about a foot or so out from this balancing valve here. So let's drill some holes. Don't want to drill through the bottom. Trying not to leave any burrs in the hole. Trying to drill straight up and down as best I can. All right, guys, that's a squirt test for you. It's definitely 5 feet, as the inspector says. So, have the generator going over there. Just connected the pump with the extension cord. The engineer's kind of dialing it down just a little bit. But, whoop. That's all of 7 or 8 feet, maybe right there. But what we need to achieve here in Sonoma County is at least 5 feet. Sometimes we like to keep that squirt just a little bit higher. Helps keep the orifices clear. And that's my purge assembly right there. We did this on a mound system earlier this year. But that's it. Passed the water tightness on the tanks. Everything's looking good. Over now. All right, passed our inspection. Passed the squirt test, passed the water tightness test, and now that that inspection's done, I think I'm going to get these lids buttoned up on the tanks and maybe get in here with the excavator and just spend maybe a small amount of time backfilling a little bit around these. I got to go help my mother-in-law with a leaking gas line over at her house, so probably won't stay here very long. And it's Friday afternoon, so I'll go check out the gas line scenario. But I did tape these up here and zip tied them all. Those cords are all nice and tight there. If you're using these Orenco risers and you're using the tough tight lids, I really like the tough tight lids. Of course, they're quite a bit less expensive, but I think they're a good quality lid, but they're a really snug fit. I mean, it says it all in the name, tough tight. I mean, it's a tight fit. So what I found you have to do is take the grinder and just bevel these edges just a tiny bit on the Orenco riser, and maybe a little bit on this edge, and then they fit nice and snug. But if you don't do that, I've found that it's a tight fit, maybe a little too tight. So there you have it, guys. We'll be back out here on Monday importing fill material, stripping the form boards off, covering over the perforated lateral with more drain rock and filter fabric, and then topsoil cover. So let's get this thing put back together.
Oh, this is just down the street from where I'm working, and you can see just how much rock is in the neighborhood. And I feel that we lucked out on this project. We hit some rock in the septic tank hole, but most of it was, you know, smaller than the size of a garbage can, and I was able to work it out of the hole without much trouble. And when I estimated the project, we based that estimate on us being able to dig pretty smoothly, and therefore we came in probably with some pretty decent numbers for the homeowner on this project. I know some people probably might have estimated a bit higher looking at the neighborhood and surroundings, but it turned out to be a benefit for me and for the homeowner, and just works that way sometimes. So just wanted to show you what the neighborhood looked like there, but it's a beautiful part of Sonoma County here that we're working in. And it's recovering pretty well from the forest fire that came through here. As you can see, the trees are all starting to turn green again. Grant's gonna be dumping my last load of soil here, and got this back corner here ripped, so it's time to spread some dirt. Beautiful morning today. Hopefully our last day up here at this job, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. I have Neiman today helping me out. He's going to be working on the erosion control, spreading grass seed, straw mulch, and getting this guy warmed up, and gonna get connected to that grader attachment and start just fine-tuning this guy a little bit, smoothing it out. But beautiful morning. Got an early start. It's been really hot lately, so let's get after it. I left this tripod up yesterday because I got it just perfect right where I wanted it. I knew exactly where I was aiming with this guy, so. Just made it a lot easier to get set up again.
got that all raked out. It's a bit dusty, but the dust has settled and it's looking good. Looking good. And oh yeah, this is looking good. Looking good. Nicely raked out. Use the grader attachment with the automatics to cut the top off nice and flat. And you can see it was really digging in initially because we had more than enough dirt on top. And so that first few passes are kind of tough when you have too much dirt on there like I had. But this is looking really good. Can't get much better than that, I don't think. All right, so time for some monitoring wells. Got the filter fabric right out of it. All right, so what I got is just a random piece of, it's like chimney or some sort of metal chimney piece, but I'm just using it right now to tap it down into this 1/2-inch drain rock. The filter fabric already came out with the post hole digger, and why I like to do it this way is if I just post hole down into this drain rock, it keeps caving in and creates a cavity underneath the soil cover, and later it will settle and not be as beautiful as it could. So I'm going to be tapping this metal pipe down into the ground, and then I'll tap it down maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then I'll scoop some drain rock out with my hand, and then I'll tap it down again, and away she goes. Another better way to do this is to set your monitoring well into the rock before you backfill, and put a little cap over it, and tie off to a couple points, triangulate those measurements to where your well is, and then remark it, dig down and find that well already in the gravel. Then you just have to put your extension piece on it. But for some reason I always get carried away and wanting to get the soil cover on as fast as possible, and I never take the time to, I don't often take the time to do that way, but I would recommend it. It's probably faster, but this works. It is going down. And I could even use my digging bar.
last handful. You can see it's one piece of drain rock, but little bits of grass and dirt. That means I've hit the interface of the bottom of the rock and ripped bed interface. So we're good to go to set the well in there. You know, for these wells, it's usually fine just for the drain rock to collapse back in there. But since we have sand, it's not going to hurt to have some sand to take up that void. But it does make it better for the sleeve pipe to come out of here. So what we do is hold down on that. Yep. Okay, and then that's just going to come out. Okay. Actually worked really good. It's kind of smooth. Right out of there. Like to give it a wiggle. I'm going to add a little bit more sand right there. Okay, you want to get that next hole dug down or widened up for that box first, I think. It's ready. Last kind of step on the monitoring wells. Clean the lids off. Get all that concrete stuff off of there. Make them look shiny and new. Lightly screw that lid back in there, and then I'm going to take my Go probe. That's you guys. You guys are going to do something cool. So we're going to perforate this. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's going to let the water out. Storm water or whatever gets in there. Yeah. All right. That's it. Looking good, nice and clean. All that's needed for the monitoring wells. So I'm going to come through with the wheelbarrow, clean up these little piles, and we're almost done. Spread some seed up on here. Get the erosion control, the last bit of rice straw bales spread, and we're about done. All right, there you have it. All the straw placed on there. Take a little walk down through here.
Kubota skid steer did great with that grading attachment. Again, love that thing. Didn't really use the water buffalo very much. Kubota excavator did great on digging those deep holes, or the deep hole over there. But that's what it looks like, guys. And that'll be it for this video. Thanks for joining me to see this at-grade septic system build come together. I'm really pleased with how this job turned out. I think it's probably one of my finest at-grades I built so far. It's nice to feel like you can keep getting better at something. It gives me motivation to keep going. See if I can keep getting better next time. Maybe there's something else I can do better. I can see there's something better I can do right now. I'm gonna take the blower and blow the dust and whatnot off these septic tank lids. But the panel's all wired in to the tanks, all sloped back, looking beauteous, guys. All the seed and grass straw spread looks way different, much nicer. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. Stay tuned, and again, thanks for watching. Please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't. We'll catch you next time. Over and out.